Libby is an extremely bizarre female criminal. Other people eat, she practiced day by day. Others gathered to chat, she still did not stop practicing. At work, she enlisted to practice hand muscles. Even on rainy days, she has to run 50 rounds at the yard. Libby tries like that, not because she wants to escape from prison. She still has a grudge to revenge. A few months ago, Libby's husband suddenly went missing, leaving only a blank piece of paper. Libby was found guilty of murdering her husband. She must go to prison unjustly. All of this was planned by her husband and her best friend. Those two changed their identities to a different place to live. They did not even let her son come to see her. With their crimes, Libby is hard to ignore. Unexpectedly, 6 years later, due to good performance, Libby was pardoned. Before she left, a female criminal who used to work as a lawyer told her that after all, she was sentenced. Now that she actually kills her husband, the police cannot do anything. These words awakened Libby. After she got out of prison, she frantically searched for the whereabouts of her husband and best friend. They disappeared soon but still have some data left. Things cannot be changed. Her best friend Angela, who used to be a teacher, she definitely kept the information somewhere. But it is hopeless. The number of teachers with the same name as her is 1,000 people. Using the traditional approach certainly doesn't work. Libby doesn't have that much time. So she sneaks into the school that Angela used to work at. After a while of searching, there was finally a clue. But the police had found out. Libby immediately ran away. Thanks to her hard training in prison, even the police could not catch up with her. But they were crowded. In the end, Libby was still arrested. Despite her constant pleading, the police still tied her up. She has yet to take revenge. How can she be resigned? The next day on her way back to detention center, Libby kept telling the police that she was unjustly imprisoned. She said until the police got annoyed. The police stopped the car, handcuffed her to the car door, and went to drink coffee. But the police forgot to take out the car keys. While the police were resting, Libby managed to escape. How to open the handcuffs? Libby looked toward the water pipe. The first one is to drive to that side first. She makes handcuffs that can collide with water pipes. One failed, but many times it will surely be successful. Unfortunately, the police discovered this. He got in the car to stop Libby. Libby directly plunged the car into the sea. The police could only open the handcuffs for Libby, so they could escape. Libby took the opportunity to steal the gun and swim upwards. The police want to arrest her, but he is knocked unconscious by Libby. Finally, the police were rescued ashore. Libby also smoothly escaped. Libby goes to her mother's house. Seeing her daughter coming out of prison, the mother didn't talk much. She immediately gave her all the money she had accumulated. Holding the money, Libby continued her path of revenge. First, she had to find the whereabouts of the two of them. She goes to a car store, pretending that she wants to buy a car. She told the clerk he could check the purchase history to see if she could afford the car. The clerk asked her to read her account number. Then, Libby read up Angela's account number to check. Finally, Libby was able to find out her data. The clerk says the account number Libby provided is eligible. With this simple operation, Libby has all of Angela's information, including home address. Libby immediately went there. But the neighbors there say that Angela died 4 years ago. Then where is the husband? Libby immediately looked up information that year. Finally, in one photo Libby discovered the painting behind Angela bought from her husband's favorite painting shop. This was definitely bought by her husband. Or it can be said that the art store will definitely save his data. Then Libby stealthily went to the art shop to look for the address. She has just gone. The police will also find the place. It turns out that after reviewing, the police also believe that in the past Libby was falsely accused. So he is looking for evidence to solve her injustice. But Libby did not trust the police. When she saw him, she ran away. She wanted to take revenge on her own. That night, she wore a splendid dress to attend her husband's party. The husband is extremely successful now. But no one knows that he relies on harming his wife to get rich. As soon as he saw Libby, he stood in silence. He did not understand how Libby could appear in this place. He begged Libby not to agitate. He said the incident, that you were all Angela's conspiracy.
So is that why you killed her?
Libby soon knew his true face, so she didn't believe what he said. Angela's death is definitely not unexpected, because if Angela dies, he will monopolize the entire amount. Libby said the exchange conditions were very simple, just let her meet her son. But without waiting for her husband to answer, she left. The next day, Libby called her husband and told him to bring their son to meet at the cemetery. Since the funeral was going on here, there were so many people, the husband certainly dared not do anything to her. Soon the two of them met. Libby also fulfilled her wish to meet her son. But as Libby approached, the son ran away. Libby unconsciously chased after. Who expected this was a plot of her husband? This child was hired by him to act. The husband suddenly appeared from behind and knocked Libby out. He was so cruel that he locked his wife alive into the coffin. When she regained consciousness, Libby found her in a closed coffin. She used fire to light and discovered a body beside her. Libby was extremely scared, but no one heard how she screamed. Suddenly she remembered she had a gun. Luckily it's still here. She fired a few shots, finally successfully opening the lid of the coffin. Libby broke through the window and ran out onto the main street. The police at the time also found Libby. Libby couldn't help but cry loudly. No one knows the horrible thing she has just gone through. She was almost buried alive in a coffin. At that moment, the police believed Libby's words. That evening, the police went to the husband's house and then questioned him about the old case. The husband was very calm. He even said he would pay $1 million if the police kept quiet. The police pretend to agree, then ask him how to handle Libby. The husband said, "She's dead, I'm sure." He spoke as if Libby didn't exist. At that moment, Libby entered from the doorway. She didn't shoot him dead. Because it's easy for him. She chose to alert the police. She once had to shoulder the crime of killing her husband. Now he also has to shoulder the same crime. The evidence is the conversation he had with the police earlier. After all these years, Libby finally got revenge. The husband refused to accept. He pulled out a gun and wounded the police. Then he pointed the gun at Libby. At the crucial moment, the police crashed into him. After a long struggle, the policeman could no longer stand up. The husband was about to shoot again and was hit by Libby. The treacherous man finally pays the price. Everything was over. Libby was overjoyed. Because of her legitimate offense, she did not have to go to jail. Now Libby can officially go see her son. 6 years have passed. The hatred in her has also ended. Only the nostalgia for her son. Going to school, just looking, she recognized her son. She called out her son's name.
Maddie! Maddie!
A bit hesitant, but the boy still walked towards Libby. Libby asks if he still remembers her. He quickly nodded. In the end, the person he had been waiting for every night had finally returned. Libby embraced her son. From now on, no one can separate them. This resilient woman regained her purity and freedom on her own. What is more important is that she has found her purpose in life again.